princess, a multi-million-dollar gala, and a massive mountain of cash that completely vanished before reaching the people who needed it most. This isn't a simple bookkeeping error. A powerful government watchdog has just stepped out of the shadows, and what they are uncovering points straight back to a dark family tradition. You'll want to stay with us until the very final moments of this video, because the ultimate connection we unearth links this modern disaster directly to unsealed files. If you want to stay ahead of the secrets the headlines won't tell you, take a second to hit that subscribe button and join our channel. We'd love to have you along for the journey. Now, let's go back to the night that changed everything. It was late 2023, and London's elite thought they were witnessing a historic royal triumph. Reports suggest the atmosphere inside the room was electric as high-profile celebrities and music icons gathered for the inaugural gala of Princess Eugenie's foundation. By the time the lights came up, the event was declared a massive success, pulling in a staggering £1.57 million in public donations. It looked like the ultimate victory for a young royal trying to cement her own philanthropic legacy. But behind the scenes, a completely different reality was already taking shape. Instead of deploying those massive funds to support vulnerable individuals on the front lines, the wealth just sat there. When the official financial reports were quietly filed, it was revealed that an incredible £1.3 million had been carried forward, locked away in storage. For an organization operating in a sector where every single penny is desperately needed, hoarding that much cash looked terrible, and that is exactly when the public trust began to shatter. Once donors realized their money wasn't actually being used for the cause, the pipeline dried up completely. By the following financial year, public donations didn't just drop, they absolutely plummeted to a tragic £48,400. Insiders say the visual fallout was so severe that pulling off another star-studded fundraiser became entirely impossible. The foundation was officially running out of time and out of money. Yet, a sudden lack of public support was only the beginning of this quiet crisis. The way the organization decided to manage its remaining wealth was about to cross a very dangerous line, sparking intense scrutiny from top industry experts. Because while public donations had slowed to a mere trickle, the internal spending at the foundation was expanding at an alarming rate. The balance sheets eventually revealed that a staggering £191,537 was poured directly into staff salaries in a single year. To put that into perspective, the organization spent more than double on its own internal payroll than it did on actual humanitarian programs. Paying out massive salaries while giving almost nothing to the actual victims looked incredibly suspicious, and the media relentlessly swarmed the organization for answers. But the palace completely clammed up, refusing to offer a single word of explanation. As bad as the lopsided payroll looked to the public, the pressure was about to turn downright overwhelming. Because investigators were about to uncover a hidden historical link that pointed straight toward a dark family tradition. The crisis surrounding the organization took a sudden, dramatic turn when Eugenie made a move that caught the entire industry by surprise. For 7 long years, she had served as the proud public face and patron of an entirely separate, highly respected global human rights organization called Anti-Slavery International. But reports suggest that without warning, she abruptly severed all ties and stepped down from her position. The organization released a brief, formal statement thanking her for her time, but gave absolutely no detailed explanation for why this long-standing relationship had suddenly come to an end. It looked like a frantic attempt to clear the decks. Insiders say a decision this drastic is almost never made without a massive, hidden catalyst. The timing of her departure told the entire story because it happened exactly as a massive wave of highly sensitive documents was unsealed across the Atlantic. These papers belonged to the late disgraced billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, and their release sent shockwaves straight through the gates of the estate. Suddenly, the names of the family were splashed across the media, appearing repeatedly throughout the explosive files. While being named in these documents did not mean they had done anything illegal themselves, it put an intense, unbearable spotlight right back on her father. With the public furiously demanding answers about past associations, leading a major human rights cause became completely untenable. The media repeatedly swarmed the foundation, demanding to know how she could lead a cause dedicated to protecting vulnerable individuals while her own family was drowning in allegations of the exact opposite nature. The charity met those hard questions with complete and utter silence. But as the pressure continued to build, observers began to realize that this entire disaster wasn't just an isolated incident. It looked like a carbon copy of a family playbook that has been used for decades. To truly understand how this disaster happened, you have to realize that this isn't a new problem for the household. It is a carbon copy of a family playbook that has been used for generations. For decades, the York branch has utilized charitable organizations as a personal shield, hiding uncomfortable financial details behind a wall of public goodwill. Her father, Andrew, saw his flagship entrepreneurship initiative, Pictured Palace, utterly collapse and face forced closure after serious controversies emerged. Major corporate sponsors fled in absolute horror when it became clear that the organization was allegedly being used to network with controversial global figures rather than helping young businesses. But the pattern goes even deeper when you look at her mother, Sarah Ferguson. The Duchess has spent years entangled in devastating charity controversies, with her primary foundation forced to permanently shut down after explosive leaked details exposed deeply disturbing ties to the Epstein estate. Rumors indicate that behind the scenes, her charitable enterprises frequently functioned as an unauthorized financial safety net, subsidizing a lavish lifestyle while staff members were regularly ordered to run personal errands instead of performing actual humanitarian work. At least 7 major charities completely cut ties with her, completely sick of the embarrassment. The sisters grew up watching their parents use non-profit structures to fund their own comfort and bury their darkest secrets. So it should surprise absolutely no one that this current organization is now falling into the exact same trap. But this time, the consequences are vastly different. The government watchdog is closing its trap, and what happens next could permanently alter the very landscape of the monarchy. The government watchdog has formally stepped in, the net is tightening, and the immediate consequences for the household are becoming terrifyingly real. Reports suggest that the official escalation of this regulatory compliance case has created a shadow too massive for the estate to ignore. Prominent royal historians and biographers are now openly arguing that the institutional damage is completely irreversible. Insiders indicate that behind closed doors, the pressure has reached an all-time high, leaving the family in a state of agonizing suspense. Experts are publicly calling for Eugenie and her sister, Beatrice, to completely step away from public duties and retire from public life altogether to protect whatever shred of dignity the crown has left. The public backlash has made one thing perfectly clear: the era of utilizing charitable structures to salvage a compromised reputation is officially over. But what makes this situation truly unprecedented is that the regulatory review isn't happening in a vacuum. It is unfolding alongside a separate, highly sensitive legal situation involving their father, meaning every single dollar and ledger is being viewed through a lens of maximum suspicion. While authorities refuse to put a definitive timeline on how long this corporate extraction will take, no official conclusions or findings have been drawn just yet. The critical question, keeping researchers and viewers locked to this story, isn't just about where the unspent funds are holding, but whether a modern royal can ever truly separate their personal philanthropy from a complicated family legacy. Ultimately, this leaves us wondering: are these noble organizations truly created to protect the vulnerable, or are they simply shields designed to protect a compromised crown? Only time will tell if the estate can survive this ultimate exposure, or if this generational playbook has finally run its course. As the regulatory review deepens, the true cost of this crisis is becoming painfully clear, and it extends far beyond a tarnished reputation. Insiders say the escalating tension is threatening to shatter the remaining foundations of the family's public standing. Reports suggest that key institutional allies are quietly backing away, leaving the sisters increasingly isolated as they face the most intense public scrutiny of their lives. What makes the timing of this review so incredibly damaging is that it directly collides with massive historic shifts occurring within the broader monarchy. Rumors indicate that senior leadership within the estate is completely unwilling to expend political capital to salvage the public image of the York branch. The ongoing corporate extraction by investigators has essentially forced a dividing line, leaving the family to navigate the fallout entirely on their own. This brings us to the ultimate staggering question that has left royal historians and viewers deeply divided. Are these noble foundations genuinely built to uplift the vulnerable, or are they carefully structured mechanisms meant to maintain influence and wealth behind closed doors? The unspent balance sheets and the lopsided salary ledgers suggest a reality that the public is no longer willing to ignore. As the watchdog continues its deep dive into the financial records, the answers uncovered may very well mark the definitive end of an era. The family playbook has finally run its course, and the ultimate exposure of the institution is now officially underway. If you want to stay completely ahead of the headlines and uncover the truth behind the world's most guarded secrets, make sure to take a brief moment to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. We are committed to bringing you the deep dive breakdowns you won't find anywhere else, and we would absolutely love to have you join our growing community. What do you think is the real motive behind these highly unusual balance sheets? Drop your thoughts in the comments section down below, and let's start the conversation. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you right here in the next video.